Hey everybody, it's Derek with High Five Resale Shop. And just a recap, if you don't know, my name is Derek. I have a family. We live in Stratford, Missouri, which is southwest Missouri. Grew up in Chicago, and I've been selling on eBay for, eBay tells me 19 years now, but I think 16 years. I may have had an account for a few years where I didn't sell on it, but selling for a long time on eBay. It's changed a lot over the years when I've been selling on it. Recently got back into it about 2 years ago, became a full-time reseller. Was kind of sick of going retail management is what I was in. So I got sick of that and tried to make a full-time go at it. My wife does work. I do this on the side in between picking up and dropping off kids at school and homeschooling our oldest child. So I basically this channel is about what I've listed on eBay, how much it sells for, how much I bought it for, if I can remember, and we just try and give you information that would help you as a newer eBay seller or as an eBay seller kind of make decisions on what to buy, what you can buy, what you should leave behind at garage sales and stuff. One of these days when I get some kind of camera equipment, maybe I'll take the camera out, like a GoPro or whatever. I'll take it out and go garage selling. But just so people know, I have a backlog of stuff that was just tremendous amount of stuff that I had never gotten to when I started to go to full time a couple of years ago, and I still haven't gotten through all of the stuff. Right now, a lot of, I'd say 80% of the things that I haven't gotten done yet are pants and slacks and leggings and things of that nature. I've changed my philosophy on things a little bit. I used to just be happy selling things on eBay and making a buck here or there because I thought it was a good mindset. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, I'll just have a garage sale and sell it for a buck or two anyway. So this, I don't have to have a garage sale. I just sell it over the course of the week or whatever. And it's a good mindset to have if you're new to it and you don't have a lot to choose from and aren't willing to go deep into your pockets to start to have an inventory of items that people can buy offline. But I have since changed my philosophy. I want to make more on every transaction that I can. You may or may not see that in what I'm listing now. When we go through the items that sold, because a lot of the items that sold are really old items. Recently, I've been going back through my clothing items because eBay changed the way they like categorize it. So used now has good, fair, and excellent, and new and new other and new with tags. So I'm just going back through them and I'm ending and selling similar. What that means is that I'm ending the listing and then I'm going into the ended listings and then I'm choosing sell similar. I'm going through the listing. I change the title most of the time because I do my titles differently than I did them a year ago, 2 years ago. I have a different philosophy on the listing titles and stuff, and then I go down and I look to see if there's any mistakes in there. I've been finding a lot of like the title says large, but the listing item specifics say small or medium or whatever. The mistake comes from whatever I listed last, because I just sell similar when I do the next listing. So I list a shirt that's large, I'm done with it at lists, and then I do the next listing, it's an extra large, and I change it in the title, but I don't change it in the description because the last one was a large, and I kind of got a little lazy, or my eye wasn't as good at checking all the details, and I get to the bottom, I list it, and the customer is like confused when they look at the listing, and they just skip it because they don't want to ask the question. eBay makes it a little bit difficult to ask a buyer something about the item, so it's not just right there. Ask a question. So some of those have mistakes like that, and then I go through and I adjust the pricing, and I make sure that I'm adjusting the new or used, and then put it in the correct section of used clothing. Excellent most of the time. Sometimes I've dropped something to Fair the other day because it did have a hole in it, and I think it just fit in that parameter of eBay listing, but it was a vintage item, so people really sometimes don't care that they have issues with those items. So so we're going to go through here the things that listed over the weekend. Today is Monday the 24th. Sorry. Monday the 24th, and the story of the weekend was that on Friday, and let me see if I'm correct on this fact, but Friday, I think, late Friday, a couple of things sold, and I packaged them up and shipped them out, gone, I'll have enough items to make this video on Monday, so not a big deal. So yeah, okay, it was just one item. So one item, a Billy Squier CD, sold at about 3:30 on Friday. So that got shipped up and sent out with the rest of the stuff on Friday. But from Friday, that point on Friday, till Saturday evening at 8 p.m., I had 3 sales. Friday, let's see here. Friday, we sold about $30 worth of stuff. Not great. The day before, $190. The day before that, $100, and the day before that, $171. So then we had this Friday. So what was that? Good Tuesday, okay Wednesday, good Thursday, terrible Friday. Makes no sense. And then Saturday, up until 8 p.m., I didn't have a sale. Maybe I had one sale or whatever, but not enough. And I'm thinking, I don't even think I'm going to have enough stuff to do a video on Monday. Between that point and then Sunday evening, I probably got 16, 17 orders, 18 orders, something like that. So right now we sit at 21 items to ship today. Saturday, $188. Sunday, $175. And then 30 some odd dollars today. So that was interesting. I was watching Justin Resells the other day, and he said something very poignant. He said, if you want to become an eBay seller, you're going to have to be, one of the most important things that you're going to have to be is patient. And I think that's true. You're going to have really great days where you sell like a bunch of stuff, and then you're going to have that day where you sell like $30 worth of stuff. And like, I may not be great at it either, because I question everything in my life when I sell $30 worth of stuff. Like, can I keep doing this? What's going to happen? But we got to put in God's hands. God's in control, and God's ways are not our ways. So we just got to keep persevering, knowing that our God is a good God and He's going to take care of us. So in that kind of line of thinking, you got to take those $30 days as much as you got to take, the $300, $400 sale days. And I know that there are a lot more eBay sellers on this YouTube platform, and their worst day may be $150. But I'll tell you, 2 years in of full-time reselling, and I have an advantage. 2 years into being full-time reseller, and I have every tool you could possibly have, because I've been doing this for 18 years or 17 years. And I have, I don't have to go out and buy shelving. I don't have to go out and buy clothes hangers or anything like that, storage bins. I have it all. Lights and printers and stuff like that. I have it all. So I have that advantage that I don't even have to go and spend money on infrastructure and stuff. So, I can see how it's really hard for new sellers to break into the market. So you got to be patient. And we took out a loan on our eBay store, to pay some bills that we had that we needed to. And I tell you to don't suggest it. I remember how it was the first iteration of this when eBay used to do that, and we were doing it 10 years ago, and we would get to some sticky points. But this version is even worse than the first version, because the first version when we did it, we didn't have shipping. We did free shipping on everything way back when. Now we do shipping on top. So the loan people are taking our daily total and then subtracting 28% from it to pay back the loan, which is fine. It's steep, but that's what I knew going in. It was steep, and that we would get the money up front, and then we would pay a little bit on the back end for it. But the thing about it is that they're taking it off the total plus the shipping, so it ends up being more. It just means that we'll pay off this loan sooner than we would have thought before. We thought they were just going to take it off the total of the items that we got. But I highly suggest that people don't use that loan platform that's on eBay. I just don't think it's a good thing. It really dips into your ability to stack money on top of each other in a quick manner. Because if you think eBay's taking 40 to 50% in fees and in shipping, then you add another 28% on top of that, and then it's really hard to stack some money up. So just be aware of that. I would advise against it, although I'm sure there's a situation in which it could be great for somebody. Anyway, let's go through the 21 things that sold over the weekend and find out what you can sell on eBay for a profit. Okay, so the first thing that we have here is an audiobook. Back from the audiobook buy. That was the first summer that I came back to do full-time reselling. I bought 900 audiobooks from a truck driver for, I think it was about $200, and I'm still selling audiobooks at least a couple every week. Back when I got them, I sold a lot more in the weeks that I put them up, the initial weeks that I put them up. Now it's down to the nitty gritty, and I still have probably 200 or 300, and I sell a couple every week. So this Blacklight Stephen Hunter audio CD, this was actually a pretty good price. It sold for $18.89 plus shipping on top. The next item, this came from, back stock from years of doing cleanouts. We did cleanouts in Chicago for people. We bought storage lockers online and did that. We would go to church rummage sales and shop, and on our way out we would ask them how they got rid of the stuff, how they got it from point A to point B, how they donated it off at the end of it, and they would be like, well, we don't care where you take it, just as long as you get it out of here when it's over. So we would occasionally pick up church rummage sales, and then after the rummage sale was over, there's still some stuff in there that's valuable. We would rummage through it, grab the stuff we wanted, and we would take the leftovers to some thrift store and donate them. But this came from there. It's a pair of medium, I think the size was in there, like the actual size, like a measurement is in the listing. I don't have it in the title, but these are Abercrombie vintage suede leather pants, and they have like a flare at the bottom, and those sold for $30 plus shipping on top. Just not super confident in that's gonna not make its way back here, but I hope it stays with its customer. The next item is these Gloria Vanderbilt capri pants. They have some embellishment on the pocket on the back. They are 16Ws, like an extra large size denim blue jean capri, and those sold for $11.20 plus shipping on top. That's a pretty good price for some Gloria Vanderbilts. The next is this Top Man gray and multicolored tribal pocket tank top. It's a men's extra small, and it sold for $7 plus shipping on top. The next person bought two items. They bought this Dress Barn olive green 1X cotton long sleeve shirt, blouse, and that's that in addition to this Mini Cooper black extra large men's sweater / top. It says Mini on there. It's got the stripes, it's got the tag, says Mini Cooper on it, so it's legit. These two items, the green shirt and this Mini Cooper pullover, sold for $17.59 plus shipping on top. Those will get shipped out together. The next item is an end and sell similar. I just ended and sold similar on this. Those two items that I just showed you, those probably came from the death pile backstock type of situation. This Olsen Boy white Nevermind floral crew blouse top, size large, sold for $5.99 plus shipping on top. And I ended and sold similar on that on the 17th, last Monday. So it took a week after I ended and sold similar, and it's sold. The next item is this leather trench coat by G3, chestnut brown, medium with a liner. This sold for $12.99 plus shipping. And that person has messaged me several times making sure that it's going to leave today. And it will. The next item I got at a garage sale in a tub of Halloween stuff. And it cost 87 cents. This is Vote for Pedro Napoleon Dynamite with the actual tag part. So it's legit ringer tee. So if you see these, this is a ringer with those different colored hem pieces. That sold for $11.20 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold are these Talbots Petite size 4 small capri denim jeans, white, and they have these buttons on the sides. So this sold for $14 plus shipping on top. And when I put them in storage, I usually put them in a bag just because they're white and I don't want them to get messed up and get dusty and stuff like that. So I put those in a bag because the dust might harm them. The next item is another End and Sell Similar. This is Sansuchi black red floral strapless top, size small, and End and Sell Similar. That got ended and sold similar on the 4th, which is 3 weeks ago, and that sold for $7.99 plus shipping on top. That is so like $10, $12, $13 in stuff that I just gave a little bit more attention and relisted them, and we got some money out of them. So instead of them sitting in the storage area, they start to make money. The next item that's sold is this Latoya Luckett Back to Life Hip Hop R&B CD. This sold for $4 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold is this Dave Matthews Band Warehouse number 5 CD. And this sold for $45 plus shipping on top. I might take this and have it buffed out a little bit. It doesn't look that great, and I'm not excited to send that out like that, so I'll probably do that today. And then the next item is this new sealed Y Envy CD, R&B hip hop, New Jack Swing. This sold for $14 plus shipping on top. Let's see here. The next item is this pink ribbed Pink Lily brand. V-neck sweaters, long sleeve blouse type thing. It's a medium. This came out of a Facebook Marketplace $5 clothing bag that I bought, and the cost on that was 25 cents. And it sold for $5 plus shipping on top. What did we say that Pedro thing came from? Yeah. So Pedro, Vote for Pedro thing came from the same garage sale as these. These Kate Spade suede boots. These came from the same garage sale as the Vote for Pedro thing. These when I extrapolated everything I got from that garage sale out, it all came to 87 cents. So basically I got these for 87 cents, even though when she, we were talking about how much she would charge me for them, she said $5, and I had no problem with that either. But when I extrapolated out to all the items that I got, those came out to 87 cents cost. So those Kate Spade black and red embroidered floral block heel size 8M booty. Those sold for $29.99 plus shipping on top. So that was a really good sale. I was really happy to see that sell this weekend. The next item to sell was another CD called South San Gabriel Welcome Convalescence. It says indie rock, and I don't know anything about that, so we're going to take that as the truth. The next item is called Innocence Belief. This CD sold for $4 plus shipping on top. The next item is this Isabel Maternity small new with tags beige animal print cheetah print shift dress. And Isabel Maternity is a Target brand, so it's not going to bring much money in this, even though it was new. Only sold for $4.99 plus shipping on top. That was given to me by my mother-in-law, who bought a storage locker of all kinds of brand new clothes, and they all appeared to be like from a bin closeout type Target situation, Dollar General situation type of stuff. So it's not really great new stuff, but it was new items. I have a better approach now than I did at that point when I did that. I would put 2 and 3 sizes of things together. Like this was a small, I would grab another small dress or a small shirt or a couple small items, size small things, and I would put them together in a lot and try and make $20 that way. Because making $4.99 on one item, it's not good enough. We got to get more money for our items. We need to lot them up if that's the way it's going to be. So the next item is this CD Fear Factory Digimortal. This is heavy metal, rock, death metal. This sold for $5.99 plus shipping on top. The next item is another CD. This is Angels and Airwaves Love Deluxe Edition. Indie rock music. 2 CDs and 1 DVD in here. And yep. I think the thing that was missing in this one was like the booklet that came with it, but that is notated in the listing. And this came from when I went to ICT Books in Wichita, and it ended up being $1.26 for this item. And this sold for $11.99 plus shipping on top. So that was okay. The next item, I'm not going to open this bag, but it's 4 blank Bella Canvas olive green short sleeve shirts. There's a small, a medium, and 2 larges in this bag. And so somebody could screen print something on these if they wanted to. And these came from that Facebook Marketplace bag, $5 bag. And these cost $1 a piece. So it must have been a different $5 bag, because we had one earlier was a $5 bag, and I think it was like $0.25 a piece or something like that. Let me see if I can find that. It was the yellow thing. Yeah. No, it's got to be a different one. That one was, it doesn't have a date on it, so I can't really tell. But, anywho, there we go. Oh, well, a quarter piece. There's 4 of them in here. So this was $1. There you go. Figured it out. Mystery solved. Alright, so that is everything I have that needs to get shipped out today. That came to a total, with all the shipping charges, to $441, $442. So that is that. Right now, our store sits at 11,949 feedbacks, so I'm looking forward to breaking 12,000 here shortly. I get some really great feedbacks. I've had some negatives this year. I have 2 negatives this year and 6 neutrals, but I get really good feedback from people. Really appreciate what I'm doing here. Even when things don't go well for people, they kind of they do leave me good feedback. So I'm really appreciative of that. When you're a new eBay seller, feedback can mean a lot more than it does at my situation when I have almost 12,000 feedbacks and stuff. But you just got to take it with a grain of salt sometimes too, and just own up to the mistakes you made. So hold on a second. I posed a question last video about, is eBay slow for you? And I got some people that commented on the video, and somebody asked what my take on it was, and I really attribute it to being, and I've talked about this before, but I really attribute it to being levels of eBay. Now, if you want to take yourself and put yourself in eBay's position, which is probably the best place to put yourself when we're talking about this kind of situation, you are spending lots of money to try and draw customers, new customers, because that's basically their whole mission in life. Missions is to gather new customers to the website, because that's what continues to funnel money to them. So they do this money transfer to try and customer acquisition, right? So they're trying to put these things in front of people who they think are interested in these items, right? And I don't know what their cost of customer acquisition is, but they just find a customer for the thing that you have in your store, and whatever widget it may be. So they find a customer for a widget, and it's in your store, right? And they send the customer to you. Now, your job is to deliver on getting that customer the widget, because they've already figured out the price that they want, right? Is your price. You just have to get the widget there. But it's not just you, right? It's you in conjunction with other people getting the widget to the customer. So you have to do your part, which is ship it up, or get it shipped, get it packaged up and get it shipped, and make sure it gets there without getting broken, and get it to the customer. Well, get it to the post office, then the post office has to get it to the customer. And a lot of the eBay customers know that we just package things up that we have and ship them off, and then the getting it to you, getting it to the end user customer, is the post office. It's not really us. So a lot of customers know that, but new people don't quite understand that, or they don't think that way. They just blame you then when it doesn't get there. So the customer gets the widget, they're happy, they order again, right? But what if the widget doesn't get there? Do you think that customer ever comes back to eBay? Probably not. If your first transaction on eBay, which I see in these Facebook, these eBay Facebook groups, like, I don't deal with new customers. I don't want to deal with new customers. Actually, let me deal with the new customers. Let me, Derek Bartlett, let me deal with these new customers because I feel like I can handle it and I can have a good transaction come out of it. Therefore, transaction 1 turns into transaction 2. I think once you do it 3 times and it works out, I think you're good. I don't think you turn your back on it. Because your next 2 or 3 transactions aren't going to be negative. All of them are going to be negative. So I think you have pretty much hooked in the customer at that point. But you got to get through these initial customers. There was that dude who rescues bars, and he was talking with that guy who does Mug Life. I can't remember his name, but he's a former eBay seller. I think he still sells, but he's an entrepreneur kind of guy. And they were talking about, what do you do to acquire people to come into your restaurant? And I think it's very similar situations. You cannot have a bad transaction if the customer is on its first, go around with your whatever it is, right? They're not going to come back. If you screw up the first transaction, you are literally guaranteed to them never coming back. There are exceptions to the rule, but those exceptions to the rule are going to be like people who find the screw up, take care of the screw up, and guide the customer all the way to making it rectified and then sweetening the pot for them to come back. And that just can't happen on eBay. So pretty much when you screw up the first time customer on eBay, it's done. It's over. So back to the initial question was, why is it slow on eBay? It's levels. I am at a certain level, and eBay trusts me to be able to fill orders at a certain level. Will they let me step out of that level in order to fulfill more orders? Yeah, during Christmas. And that's when they judge you on it. Like, hey, did they do a good job with that? Maybe they can move up. Now, being able to move up is a different thing than being able to fulfill the orders at the level, because you have to be able to sustain that on your own. And right now, I can't sustain the fact that I can fulfill more orders because I don't have enough interesting stuff to put in front of customers to get me to the next level, right? Like, some of my stuff is kind of boring. I don't have that new exciting inventory to put up that's going to make people want to en masse buy more stuff from me. So I can see that I'm staying at the same level that I was on because I've got that level covered. When will I move up a level is when I am able to purchase some kind of large buy where I can have that group of new inventory that's going to propel me forward. But even after that, you have to have something behind it to come behind it to like continue that momentum on. You can't get that new group of inventory, have it, and then sell it all off. You'll just go back down to the same level. So I think once you get up to the next level by buying that large collection or getting that great deal or whatever, you have to come back after it and you have to come right behind it again and do it again, and then you got to repeat the process, right? So I think it's levels, and I don't think that with new eBay sellers, like, you have to be worried about a lot of the restrictions that eBay puts on new sellers. So you have to just go with the flow, what eBay is giving you at the time to be able to do. Know that you can't make this I'm going to do eBay full time until your worst month can pay all your bills. Your eBay can pay all your bills on your eBay's worst month, is the best way to go about doing it. So my worst months are February and March. So we're working through that right now. April will pick up back up because people will start getting their refunds and stuff from their tax returns. So we should see some increase. I think I'm already seeing a little bit of increase from that. People buying stuff. So you have to be able to weather that storm when your store is going to do bad, do its worst numbers. For me, it's February and March. For people who sell all jeans, it may be the middle of summer. So it's different for everybody. If you sell only Christmas stuff, maybe your worst month is June and July. I don't know. So just gotta keep that in mind. And doing it part-time I feel like I'm part-time, even though I also say that I'm a full-time reseller. I do put about 30 hours a week into it, but a lot of my time spent on it is between the hours of 10 p.m., 9 and 10 p.m., till about 1 or 2 in the morning. So when the kids are asleep, that's when I'm over here doing things. And sometimes that makes it so that in the middle of the day, I have to take a nap. But just try and make it through each day, different, get done what we need to get done. A lot of the new listing stuff happens at night. Pardon me. But I think that's going to be it. If you have any questions or comments, I love to answer them, and I really enjoyed the comments on the last video. So that's going to be it for here. Remember that Jesus and God loves you. This country, we're repenting for our sins right now, and we're moving forward. And I think God sees that this country is moving forward from some of the things we've done in the past, and eye-opening, opening people's minds and eyes to what is going on. But just remember that Jesus loves you, and that God will never forsake you. And always give yourself a high five. See you later.